What's up? What's going on? What's good? It's the Boxing Show checking in. Wanted to talk about the comments from Dmitry Bivol after his win over Canelo Alvarez, where he retained the WBA light heavyweight championships, and he pretty much gave Canelo his second loss of his professional career. Dmitry Bivol is still undefeated, and now he pretty much gains a good amount of popularity after his decision win over Canelo Alvarez. I did, talk with Akim Barak from the DAZN Boxing Show earlier, and some of the comments that he was talking about is, one about the judges that scored the bout unanimously, 7 rounds to 5. And all of the rounds were in unison, 7 rounds to 5. Each single round was scored identical by all three judges in the scorecards. And he said, look, he thought that, with it being 7-5, that he thought maybe that he would have gotten the shorter end of the stick. But once they announced that he was the champion and the winner, he was, happy that they made that particular decision. But he also felt like Canelo Alvarez won maybe 4 of the 12 rounds instead of the 5 that the judges gave him. Another thing is that, he gave respect to Canelo Alvarez, despite a lot of the criticism that has been given to Canelo Alvarez over the past couple of days. He, feels like Canelo is a great fighter and is a legend in the sport. And that, as Dmitry Bivol said, everyone has haters, and, maybe it's time for, Canelo's haters to, come out the woodworks right now. But he does respect Canelo and the Canelo team for giving him the opportunity to face Canelo Alvarez, and he was able to take advantage of that opportunity. And, in reference to, potential rematch, it is the option for Canelo Alvarez to exercise that rematch clause. He pretty much has a month to exercise that rematch clause, and after that, as I mentioned, that it could happen either from, a few months from now up until November of this year is pretty much the time limit that the rematch could take place. But Bivol's goal is not really to face Canelo Alvarez again. His goal is to fight and win the undisputed light heavyweight titles. And yep, we know about what's happening next month. You're going to have Artur Beterbiev versus Joe Smith Jr. for the WBC, IBF, and WBO light heavyweight titles. And the winner of that would have, of course, 3 of the 4 titles, and could potentially face Dmitry Bivol for the undisputed championship at 175, especially if Canelo doesn't exercise that rematch clause that was stated there in the agreement. But, I think that, with that being said, Dmitry Bivol said that, he, would like more money in the split, so to speak. There's a rematch there with Canelo Alvarez, and also that, you want to have a time to promote the fight so that, people could be more familiar about Dmitry Bivol, especially given the comments from, our guy MVO in the latest podcast, and also comments from other notable sports commentators and analysts, in particular for Stephen A. Smith, who basically gave that, thing. I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. Well, if they have, enough time, they could pretty much have it to where people would care about what Dmitry Bivol did in order to defeat Canelo Alvarez on Saturday, and then that would build up to the rematch to kind of build it as a real challenge for Canelo Alvarez to, see if he could beat the guy that defeated him on Saturday. But, there's other things there that's out on the table for Dmitry Bivol. He did kind of discuss that with Akim Barak of the DAZN Boxing Show. But, for me, I think that, we'll see what happens here with Bivol within the course of the next month. maybe later than that. You know, it really is something, you know, from a timing perspective, because, you know, if it's a month from now, that's going to be 1 week before that Joe Smith versus Artur Beterbiev fight that's going to be in New York City for those unified light heavyweight titles. So the light heavyweight landscape, pretty much is shaping up here over the next few weeks or so. And we'll see what happens when it comes to Dmitry Bivol and Canelo Alvarez to see if there is going to be a rematch there. But if not, then you can see Dmitry Bivol potentially waiting on that winner of Joe Smith Jr. and Artur Beterbiev. But that's what we got here in reference to this. We'll have more content on the Boxing Source YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe. We really appreciate it. And on that note, folks, I'm out. Peace.